尊敬
Madam Smriti, Mr. Wang Huiyao, Madam Mabel Miao, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I want to thank the UN Women and CCG for the invitation to join you in the celebration of the International Women's Day, and I'm also looking forward to exchanging views with all of you on this important topic about gender equality and sustainable future. Just recently, the IPCC issued the report, Climate Change 2022, Impacts, Adaptation and Vulnerability, stressing that climate change is creating dangerous and extensive damages on nature. About 3.3 billion to 3.6 billion globally are living in the highly climate change vulnerable environment. The more frequent hot waves, droughts, and floods have really overwhelmed the limits of wildlife, leading to the death of a lot of trees and coral species. And the extreme weathers and disasters have also happened in a more extensive manner, aggravating the water and food crisis for millions of people. So that has created very hard potential impacts. In order to address such impacts, people around the world need to work together. Since the Paris Accord was adopted in 2015, countries committed to the 2-degree temperature rise. But actually, there is still a large gap. And according to WMO, 7 years after the Paris Accord was signed, we experienced the hottest year in 7 years, and global warming and other climate change trends will continue. In 2021, at the COP26 in Glasgow, parties finally reached the packaged solution for the implementation of Paris Accord, at the same time making important progress in adaptation and funding and other topics. China and the United States have also issued the joint statement during the conference, committing to joint efforts to strengthen the implementation of the Paris Accord. Actually, today the international community's consensus on addressing climate change is also a part of the Chinese traditional philosophy. For example, everything should live in harmony in order to live a better life, and everything needs to be better cared for in order to be successful. And President Xi Jinping has also talked about the community of shared future for mankind, as well as green is gold. And this is the Chinese solution to environmental governance, and it is also Chinese effort to upgrade China's participation in global governance. As an active promoter and practitioner on climate change, China attached great importance to addressing climate change. In 2020, China announced that before 2030, we will reach carbon peak, and before 2060, we will achieve carbon neutrality, and we will use about 30 years from carbon peak to carbon neutrality, and that will involve a lot of work. Climate change has really created the greater frequency and severity of extreme weathers. For example, in 2021, we experienced the Henan torrential rain and the Shanxi torrential rain. Since the disasters took place in those places, Dongmei Foundation made a donation of 11 million yuan to Henan and Shanxi to help them in disaster relief. And we have also helped the damaged schools and helped them to repair and reconstruct the schools. And when we are involved in the disaster relief, facing the deaths and losses of properties, and we have a deep feeling that climate change is really posing great threat to human welfare and the health of the planet. Climate crisis also has made it more vulnerable for women to suffer. The UNEP, UN Women, and UNDP have issued a new report. It is called Gender, Climate, and Security, Maintaining Inclusive Peace at the Forefront of Climate Change. It indicates the interconnectedness between gender, climate, and security. It points out that women and girls are facing very bad economic burdens, and it also stressed that women who are at the forefront of climate actions have an important role to play in preventing conflicts and sustainable inclusiveness and peace. The Dongmei Foundation is committed to promoting educational equity and gender equality, and we are helping the underdeveloped regions, the ethnic minority young people, and help them to improve their education. And we help those poor families to educate their children better. And in particular, we pay much attention to the girls, and we provide more learning resources to them and create better education opportunities to them. And girls are the future mothers, so the education of girls is key. And to empower the girls is to empower women. Our foundation has provided scholarships, libraries, and other forms of support to Xinjiang, and also some other counties in China to improve the educational equity and help tens of thousands of girls. And in the Tibetan area of Sichuan, it faced the most severe global warming challenges. And there is a county called Luhuo in Sichuan. There is a village with an altitude of 3,500 meters. It was a very poor county. In June 2021, my foundation and me carried out a project. It is for the poor mothers and their girls. Lots of families are actually single mother families there. They are caring for many children, but they are not very well educated, and the fertility rate is very high, and the health is not very good, so they do not have good ability to adapt to climate change or other social and economic impacts. And climate change has also increased their work time and family burdens. But these mothers support their children in education. So we use this project to help them to improve their living and learning conditions so that poverty will not go on. In Beijing, we have a new lifestyle here that is called zero waste. We have more and more young people who start from their own life. For example, they classify waste. They turn the waste into usable things, and they are reducing waste. My daughter Nina is such a practitioner, and now she is a student in junior high school, and now she is promoting the zero waste concept. There have been a lot of changes in her life. For example, she uses the soaps instead of the shampoos, and she uses the toothpaste pieces instead of the tubes of toothpaste. And she also used some waste paper for compost. And she has never bought any blind boxes or toys like this anymore since she started to practice zero waste lifestyle. And actually, we are guided by the big goals of carbon neutrality and carbon peak. Nina and other young people in China are paying more and more attention to environment in their life. And more people have realized that their life is closely related to the environment. And no longer climate change is a slogan. It is in the action of everybody. So our foundation will work together with all parties, including the UN Women, to create a more sustainable future. That is all. Thank you.